I met him where I usually go to eat, and the normal chit chat you have with strangers was what was happening. And the lady infused that I was an actor and a filmmaker. And yes, we laughed it off. And then this young man went ahead to offer me his meat. And I said no, but he insisted. He refused to continue eating until I had the meat. And I was like, okay, why not? What's there? So my way back home after all the chit chat, somebody tapped me from behind and I turned and it was him. Trying to get my number. And just casually I gave it to him, not thinking about anything in that very moment. But he did not call me. And I only remembered this a few days afterwards or weeks. I got back from work one of those days and I got really bored because, of course, I'm a loner and I felt the need to talk to someone as a way to unwind, but I couldn't really think of anyone I could call in that moment. And then I remembered this young man who took my number a few days ago and was yet to call. I decided to check in because, of course, it's Whitney. Always overdoing it, like over caring. And then I called and I asked, I hope you're good. He said yes. Why? I said, because you took my number, and usually people would call me the same day, but you did not call up until now. So I got a bit worried and I decided to check on you. How are you? And he said he was fine. I said, okay, that's that. I just wanted to know how you were doing. And he mentioned that he had wanted to call me, to be honest, but of course, I came across as someone he probably couldn't call. And then he went ahead to tell me how he had seen my movie after the chit chat at night. He got home, he saw my movie that same night, and he could not hold his joy. He called his aunt to come and see that he met with this person just a few minutes ago. And in excitement, he sat there and glanced through the movie, waiting for the end credit just so he could get my name and check me up online, which he did and confirmed that okay, it was actually the same person that I saw, blah blah blah. I could feel the excitement in his tone. And I was like, okay, was that a problem with believing what she said when she mentioned that I was an actor? He said, a lot of people keep saying they're actors, but there's always nothing to show. So he was excited that this one was real. I said, okay. The next time he goes, he wanted us to see. I said, okay, no problem. Why not? Whitney was bored yet again. So I told him to meet me up at one of the eateries that were not far from my house. I think this was, is it Tasty Fried Chicken? I remember the day like it was yesterday. I walked in and I saw this young man seated close to the door, looking all young. And I remember my exact words. Wow, you are young. How old are you? And he responded saying it wasn't as young as he looks. And I was like, no, I can tell that I'm older than you. And he goes, I know you're in your 20s and I'm also in my 20s. So, and I go, yes, we might be in our 20s, but I'm aware that I'm older than you. How old are you? And he tried to convince me that there was really nothing wrong with being friends. Was there anything wrong with that? And of course, me and my overly protective instincts trying not to make him feel bad, even though I didn't feel good. I said, okay, I kind of entertained him and the idea of being friends, even though I did not like it, following the fact that prior to me even being 20 something, younger persons have always picked interest in me. I don't know why that is. And I've always found that it has never been one thing that I applauded. So I did not hesitate to always say it, always let him know my reservation about it. I didn't even know that he was actually even lying about his age, because me stating that fact the first time we met made him quite uncomfortable, obviously, and he added a few years to his age and made me feel like I was 2 years older. Fast forward to when he started to come to my house, I would always entertain him outside the gate, to sit down, with chit chat, and you always listen attentively whenever I was talking. You never interrupted. Always listened until I was done before he talks. And I found that very cute. I even mentioned. But one thing that made me very uncomfortable was the way he was always staring at me. He doesn't blink when he stares. And one time I decided to ask, why do you stare like that? It's giving weirdo. And the next thing that comes out from his mouth was, I find you very fascinating, especially for your age. And I go, I don't understand. He says, you're not just intelligent, like you you are all put together, like you're well put together. The way you talk, the things you say, when you talk about yourself, your future, your plans and everything. He kept on hammering on me being fascinating for the longest. Fast forward to me finally letting him in, eating food prepared by me, and then getting to allow him talk about himself to a point where I now think I knew him a bit. And then one day he came to my house looking all washed up, like somebody was battling some terminal illness. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, I have kidney failure. And I'm like, what? I got really worried. How did you know? He said he knows because that was what killed his ex.